Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sleeper Hole, where no disqualification on the topics and falls count anywhere. I am your host, Priest. Alongside with me, of course, are two of the co-hosts. First off, the Kluganator, aka our guy who's in charge of sound, video, audio, all that stuff that he does great already for PWA. He now does for us too.
Yeah, he's taken over.
I've taken over that role from Pickett
in
this studio anyway.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
I say, I'm not going to complain though, because he knows what he's doing, whereas me, I'm like, maybe this button?
Maybe this button?
Maybe.
Yeah.
What's this button do? Self-destruct. Ah. And of course,
retard alert.
and right there with us is the one who's been here since, well, day one of being on the radio and everything, is Zombies.
How's it going?
And not with us is the analyst Rob Leach,
Yes.
but, we'll just vacate a spot right here.
We'll CGI him in here later.
There you go. All right, so basically, guys, it's been a
how's
pretty...
the new camera?
Yeah, that's a good point. We got a
We
new
have
camera.
upgraded the studio a little bit.
Camera looks really good. I mean, I'm just able to see what it looks like here, and it looks really good. I'm happy about that, and I can see it also on my phone.
Undead Studios is still undead, but a little bit more undead.
There you
Now
go.
we just have more screen area instead of using two separate cameras like we were
Because
doing.
it works.
Looks a little bit more professional, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a
too.
little
Well,
more
yeah.
crisp.
Well, it's a good thing that we found that 90-degree angle camera.
Right?
Well,
really
and
kind
it's
of
even
crisp.
better the fact that you
That we found the price on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Hashtag not sponsored by anybody we're not going to mention right now. So.
All right.
Because if you want to be recognized by brands, you better dish it out.
There you go.
Cover up the.
Oh. Yeah, we won't mention my work.
Not sponsored.
No, not yet. I'm still trying to see if I can finagle something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I've been
Oh,
working
yeah,
on it.
definitely.
Been working on it.
I've talked to a couple places too.
Yeah,
so,
say, with new heads of the company,
Yeah,
you never know.
I don't know.
But hey, so anyway, it's September, 12th right now? 13th?
13.
13th. Man, it's-
2 days after my birthday. Actually,
yeah, happy
so-
birthday, first of all. Secondly, yeah, I'm just kind of a bit out of it because
You were
yesterday I had...
born on 9/11, man.
Yeah. I was born
That kinda
17 years before that stuff
Oh,
went down.
Well, at least that's...
Yeah, it's not been 34 years since the towers went down, man. I mean, it's tough.
That would really make me feel...
As the only reason why I can't keep track of the dates is I had a 15-hour shift last night, so I'm still recovering. But anyway, yeah, speaking of 9/11, we do want to still, as behalf of the Sleeper Hole, 217 Radio, and all that stuff, we do have our hearts go out to the families who were impacted by that, as well as the whole nation that was impacted.
Well,
Right.
the whole world, really. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it changed a lot of stuff with it.
Well, and I want to talk
I think
about...
everybody remembers where they were that day.
Exactly.
Well,
That's,
if they were
Alive.
above the age of maybe 6
Well,
prior to then.
well, that's the whole thing I wanted to kind of talk about. I wanted to talk about that first we got to wrestling, because that is a very historic time in our lives. And, it was one of those things that I was talking to my mom about this one time. I said, it's kind of funny because when you talk about history, you talk about, like Pearl Harbor or World War I or anything like that. It's like, a lot of those places had some impact, but nothing really had as deep of an impact as 9/11, in my opinion. Because even Pearl Harbor was hit on Hawaii. It was not hit on the continental
Yeah.
United States. Where finally we had somebody get through the coastline and into our soil and attack us, and then it really woke up the whole nation going,
right.
we're not as safe as we think.
Well, and I've heard it referred to multiple times as basically our generation's Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, and that's a good example.
My dad, obviously, he was not, he was just not even 10 years shy of being born whenever Pearl Harbor happened.
Yeah.
But he's told me about his father's responses to it, and then now I'm looking forward to when the time comes, whenever
You can
child
share that
asks me,
story,
or
yeah.
hell, even when Ben, not
me,
Big Ben,
his
but
little
Ben,
kid, yeah.
gets old enough and sees it in a history book, nonetheless.
Oh, well, you see, that's the thing, though.
Or even books in general.
Right
I mean,
now, kids that are like freshmen in high school right now actually will have it in their history
Yeah,
book.
it's finally being updated, and I think it's incredible.
Well,
just
books
because
still
it's
exist.
that it's old enough to be in there.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's really kind of interesting to me because we got to live that part of history. We got to experience that, and I'm sure all of us, it's something I kind of want to do. It's kind of easier for us because Rob's a bit young. He probably won't have any memory of it. No offense, Rob, but you're a
Well,
kid.
I mean, he would have been 2 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas all of us, we had something going on that day that we can remember. Like I remember when the whole thing started was when we were actually getting inside school, and we were wondering why. I was sitting there looking around, going, "Why is everybody so glum? Why is everybody so quiet?" Like in the people pulling up and dropping off their kids. And it was funny because as I'm leaving, my cousin Matt, who's a prankster in our family, runs up to Mom's car, smacks the front, falls over, make my mom think that she hit somebody, freaks out, and just she sees his head, she starts laughing. And this person who's driving past her just looks at her like, "You are so cruel for laughing about this horrible thing."
Right.
But she had no clue about the Twin Towers until she got to work. And I didn't have any idea about it really until second period.
So you were still in school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was in high school.
We were both in high school.
Yeah, let's see here.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Were you in physics in second period?
No, I was in physiology.
See?
But see, the first period, I was in my English class, and she was like, "We're not going to do anything major today. Just read your books.
Yeah.
We're not going to do anything. Just do your own thing today." And I'm like, "This is the weirdest thing."
Yeah.
And it was when we got to second period that our teacher had the TV actually on, and it was on the news, and I'm like, "Oh my God."
The rest of the day was nothing but that.
And at first I was sitting there watching it going, "Is this some sick movie trailer? Because this is really dark."
Yeah.
And then when I started reading the scrolling marquee, I'm like, "Holy shit, this is real.
Yeah.
This is really happening right now."
Yeah.
And just the chill that went down my spine.
And I didn't even really realize that anything like this was going. And unfortunately, that's one of the memories that has stuck with me. Has been that day.
Oh yeah.
Even through all the crap I've gone through with memory problems and such, but like I didn't know anything that was going on. I mean, I imagine my father probably had some idea of what was happening. I mean, because he was in the National Guard at the time, and I was just thinking, it's my birthday. I'm looking forward to what I'm going to get to do when I get to go home. Like what of my I was imagining, whatever it was my parents could have gotten me for my birthday.
Exactly.
Like that.
That was one of the toughest things. I remember you were so upset about that.
Well, it's not so much just because it was my birthday. It was more of the fact that my focus changed immediately.
Yeah.
Like it went from the moment that I walked into, it was in second period, was physics. I remember it because the teacher, I can't remember her name for the life of me either, but it was already on the TV.
Yeah.
And I was watching this and I'm thinking, just what can I do now? And I remember immediately, I'm 17 years old. I can actually enlist in the United States military. And I just the whole day I was watching this just constant.
Well, yeah. And I remember because in the cafeteria before classes even started, I mean, you were all good, bright-eyed, but not really bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, but close enough to it because it was your birthday. You were excited, you were happy.
Yeah.
And then, like, by the time lunch period came, you were very stoic and you were very like straight-laced, serious. And it's like, man, just turn around on that.
Well, I went home that day and immediately asked my dad. All right, I told him, I said I had a question I wanted to ask him. He already knew exactly what it was that I was going to ask him. He's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll take you to recruiter tomorrow."
Nice.
That was.
Now, me, on the other hand, I was not in school at the time because I am a little bit older than both of you.
Like 50, right?
Oh.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on.
No, I was actually working at a little microfilm place that doesn't exist anymore.
What's microfilm?
Oh, those are the days.
I know.
It was before everything was digitized like it is now.
Right.
It was still put on little tapes.
I remember. Vaguely, but I remember.
But I was actually running late for work that day, and I had saw the report on TV. And at the time, the first report was that it was just like a small little private passenger Cessna or something.
Yeah.
So my initial reaction is, oh, well, some dumbass flew his plane into the building.
Right. Somebody's on Denver.
And then I literally saw the second one hit on live TV.
I remember that.
And it's like, okay, that's too much to be a coincidence.
Yeah. And then you hear about the third plane and then the one that hit the...
I remember the second and the third. I remember when it was not too far from the Pentagon. Oh, no, the one that hit the Pentagon, the one that was not too far after that. But I just remember feeling sick to my stomach that whole time, just going, this can't be real. There's no way this can be real. And it was like, my brain's going, you idiot, you see it right there on TV, this is real.
And it also made you question what it is that you're seeing, too. It's like,
right.
honestly, at first, prior to the newsreel thing, I was thinking maybe along the same thing. Is this some kind of movie that they're putting up? I mean, we'd all seen and read the history of the bombing in the early '90s.
Yeah, the Oklahoma City bombing and all that stuff.
Well, the one that happened in the Trade Center.
Well, yeah, the Trade Center as well. But I'm saying, like, the bigger one that people always talk about was the Oklahoma one as well.
Yeah, well,
that one I was still in school.
It was a few years apart from one another.
Yeah.
I mean, it was essentially almost executed the same way. It was a big moving truck with explosives in it, and they obviously could not realize that that tower was built specifically
to withstand
something like that.
And it's crazy because I mean, there's been a lot of disasters, there's been a lot of tragedies that we've lived through, but this was one that really just did it for. I think the thing that did it the most for me, and this is like one of the hardest things to talk about, but I feel it's necessary, was just watching the footage of people who had to make the choice of burn alive or jump.
Yeah.
And that seeing those things on the live footage was enough to shake me to the core. I'm like, I just can never imagine.
I still remember the reporters responding to seeing something falling from the building, and
at first I thought it
they're
was
like,
debris.
wait, it's like, wait, what is that? Is that a person?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
at first they're like, it's just debris, it's just debris, and then they start realizing the shape, and they're like,
and then
oh
as
my
soon
God.
as they realize it's a person, they
quickly
hand
change
away
it.
from
Yeah.
it. Like, it was just like, wow.
But I mean, I was very similar to where you were, except for I just didn't know what options I had because I was not 17 yet. I mean, my birthday is only like 2 weeks away from yours. But it was one of those. It was like I have no experience as a first responder or anything like that. The only person I know that has any response type thing is my uncle, who's a cop.
Yeah.
But I have no experience like that. But that's something that I would want to do is go help out, try to get through the debris. But there's nothing I can do. So I mean, I just sat there and we were talking to several of the teachers, especially. The one who was our counselor at the time, Miss Julie Jurgens.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I remember her.
what can we do? And just trying to find anything we could do with our programs. But
we did try to do something about it.
I mean, we raised funds for it and everything else to help with the disaster relief. I remember that. But I mean, it was definitely a moment in history that none of us here are going to forget, and hopefully, it's one that our history period never forgets, so we're never doomed to repeat it.
Right.
Now, to get away from all the gloom, doom, and sadness and everything else, let's talk about some wrestling. First of all, unfortunately, we wanted to talk a lot.
Depends on which company you're talking about.
Yeah,
right.
Sure. I was going to say, originally, I was going to talk about, having Rob here talk about CIPW because he did a really good job checking out. He had a lot of good information.
Yeah, Rob went to go check it out, and I almost would have been there myself, but I would have been there in a working capacity because I was approached to do sound. But
yeah.
I mean, they found an alternate option last minute.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited because I was like, man, Rob had some really good insight and everything else. I was excited for it because I wanted to hear what he had to say. Unfortunately, well, that didn't happen. Which sucks, but it is what it is.
Well, we'll have to catch up with him on that next week.
Absolutely.
Yep.
However,
assuming he's here.
Yes. However, I mean, we didn't have still Raw and SmackDown, and then later on I do want to talk about PWA because I am looking forward to this show coming up.
As am I, because I saw the post that was made about the referee that's going to be there.
That's going to be
the
awesome.
Referee clinic being put on by Justin King.
Yes, that's going to be great.
I unfortunately did not get to see anything with the highlights this week. I was otherwise occupied with things surrounding everything.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, but basically, for Raw, there's a few different things that happen. The big things that happen, of course, you had Strowman, Ziggler, and McIntyre come out with a bunch of the heels, do this big old speech. Then the Shield came out with axe handles and just pulverized everyone. While the three big guys got out of the ring. Then Corbin basically said, "Hey, you guys need to get out, or I'm going to have you arrested," and we don't want to have that happen again. So the Shield left. The McIntyre and Ziggler went up against the B team for the rematch clause. Mm-hmm. They won, but then they were attacked by Ambrose and Rollins, which then Corbin's like, "Well, I'm going to have to get you arrested because I told you guys the Shield needs to leave." And they're like, "Well, the Shield did leave. The Shield's 3 people. We're just 2."
Right.
Then they decided to say, "Hey, we found out you falsified some police documents last week. And here's a police officer to read you your Miranda rights," which he did properly by not even having to read the card. Just sat there staring at him going, "Here's my badge, and I'm going to read this to you." And then basically, Corbin's like, whoa. Maybe we can work something out.
I think it would have been more realistic if they would have got one of the cops from Law and Order.
Yeah. Only if it's Ice-T.
Well, yeah. I could see that.
But I mean, so they did that, and basically Rollins decided to have a little private one-on-one talk with Corbin about stuff. While meanwhile, outside the room, Dean's sitting here talking to the sheriff and basically saying, "Okay, well, it really wasn't speeding. I mean, technically it was speeding, but I feel like that number should just be a suggestion, not an actual limit." And basically, they're just talking before Seth comes out and says, "Hey, now at Hell in a Cell, we have a match for the tag titles." And so they got their thing. Now they have a title shot. And of course, the officer told Ambrose, "If you ever get put back in jail again, give me a call. I'll help get you out." And Dean's like, "Really? Yeah. Really? Yeah." So at least they're bringing back the comical Dean. I'm liking this. This is making me happy to see the unhinged comical Dean again.
Speaking of Raw, while we're on the subject, Renee Young's actually been made full-time an NXT member now, replacing
Yes,
Coachman.
I love it. I'm so happy for her.
I know a lot of people would prefer she replace Graves, but
me included.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
I just wish that they put Graves just solely on one or the other instead of having him be on both.
But I mean, so
I'm looking forward to the pay-per-view, honestly. Maybe he won't be there as much.
So I mean, here's the thing, though. Now, Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins have the chance against McIntyre Ziggler. The question is, we know how powerful McIntyre is. We know how powerful Ziggler is. We've seen what the Shield can do.
we know how nuts Ambrose
Yeah,
is.
so we know how the Rollins and Ambrose are separately. We know also how they are as a unit. The real question comes to, what is the strategy here? Because these guys are well known to the whole public. They're well known to each other.
Right.
How do you throw each other off your game? Because Ziggler and McIntyre have not only the experience but the power, whereas Rollins has more of the agility and tactical wrestling, and Ambrose still has somewhat more of a, not as unhinged and unpredictable, but just ruthless brawling type style.
Ruthlessly random is what I would
That's a good way of putting it, yeah.
I mean, he's all over the place. I mean, I get the unhinged, crazy man that he is, but in the same token, it's just like there's focus.
There's finally some tunnel vision going on, yeah.
I thought it's tunnel vision, maybe more along the lines of like he's capable of maintaining the focus when he needs it, and then immediately changing focus whenever it's necessary.
That's a fair point.
And then he just lets it go.
Well, and see, that's my whole thing. Is like
I did not mean to make any sort of reference.
Well, see, my whole thing is I've been sitting here trying to pay attention.
No,
to
yeah,
it. I've been trying to pay attention to it. Like the only thing I can sit there going, for McIntyre and Ziggler, the one thing that they know is Rollins has a bad knee.
Right.
There's one target, but you got that, but you still got to worry about Ambrose. What do you do? Mm-hmm. Then you go Ziggler and McIntyre. Okay, Ziggler, the longer he's in, the better he gets. So if you can get him worn out quickly, there's your advantage. But then you got McIntyre. How do you solve the McIntyre problem? So both of them have this X factor.
Well,
I can't figure it out.
McIntyre's would still see him as his knees. Obviously, you take him
Take a big man down.
Yeah. And the same with Ambrose, obviously, is his neck. So.
Okay, neck. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, yeah, he is just coming back from that sort of injury.
Well, he had like the upper arm injury, I think.
Like this one.
Yeah, this whole area here.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's possible. I mean, what strategy would you think, Kluge?
I mean, with any big guy, you're always going to get targeted to be knocked down in size.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something we've seen repeatedly over the years, even going all the way back to as far as Andre the Giant before.
True.
I mean, that does sound the best game plan because power-wise, you think that McIntyre's going to have the advantage.
Yeah.
Overall.
His upper body strength.
Oh yeah,
is what's going to be his main.
Well, and see, that's
pro.
Yeah, and that's the thing that Ziggler and McIntyre have. Ziggler is definitely more of a leg submission style and everything else, and he's got his, the kick and everything else he does. So I mean, and McIntyre, like I said, has the upper body. So that's a good point. But I mean, what does McIntyre and Ziggler have to do to strategize for Dean? I mean, we already figured out Rollins is probably going to be the knees, but Dean,
they're probably going to have to focus on Rollins' knee and try to knock out Ambrose somehow, whether it be ringside, ring posts, or
fair enough,
through the announce table or something.
But
yeah, how many?
Isolate the architect, take out the knees, and eliminate hammer.
There's the other question that we're going to have to ask is how many announcer tables are we going to go through this?
Probably at least 2.
I'm thinking 3. I'm shooting for 3.
Are we talking about the pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Okay.
On Sunday, I'm going 3.
All 3, and then maybe even a few tables from underneath the ring.
There you go. I'm going to say 3, and definitely the Hell in a Cell is not going to stay standing. Somebody's going to go through it.
Right.
It's became too much of a traditional thing.
I was going to say, it's been a regular practice lately for any type of
Ever since Mick went through, it's became pretty much nearly a traditional thing now. Speaking of Mick, though, Mick did come out and make a great announcement that he's now going to be the guest referee for Strowman and Roman.
Wow.
But here's the thing. I mean, I know Mick in general is all around face type guy. He likes his faces.
Well, you definitely.
Yeah.
You met him briefly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. I am so glad I got a chance to meet him.
Yeah, didn't he take a copy of your book too?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't need to be.
Although I'll be honest with you, if he ever gets a hold of me and says what he thinks of it, it's a good thing. I'm gonna be bragging about that for a while. But irregardless, we know that Mick usually leans towards the faces. That's his personality.
Right.
What does this mean for Strowman? Because already the odds are slightly not in his favor because of that one factor.
No, I think the Strowman's it is in his favor, seeing as how
the crowd
been
hates Roman.
Well, Shield's been kind of on a tear recently of being this like on the extreme defensive when it comes to everything that's been happening. Corbin already
it's been the protect the yard type thing.
Exactly, but more or less protect the yard from them instead of them being the ones protecting the yard.
True.
It's almost like a section of the.
You want to protect the yard, put a fence around it.
Or
it's almost like the yard had gotten a section of the fence knocked down, and some crazy ass dog from down the street got over, and you don't know how to protect it or even let your own dog out into the yard because there's a crazy dog out there, and there's a section of the fence missing. So
that crazy dog is a mixture between an Irish wolfhound and a Rot. Let's be honest.
That's a big ass dog.
Yes, it is. I mean, that's what Braun Strowman is. He's a big ass dog.
Well, no, I was actually saying the crazy dog being Reigns, and the Shield being a potential.
Well, I mean,
instance there.
My whole thing is that Roman always says it's his yard, but I mean, it seems like the yard is being taken over. Let's be honest.
But whose yard is it really? I mean,
that's a good question.
I mean,
whose yard is it now?
I honestly feel like Strowman's got the advantage because if Mick sees I don't know if Mick's going to see Strowman as a heel or as a face or even walking that line. Essentially,
he could.
I mean, he's grabbed over on both sides of that fence line.
I mean, part of me is almost tempted because of how crazy Mick is. That we're going to see these guys duke it out. Mick's going to walk outside the ring, go underneath the ring, grab 2 barbed wire bats, and toss them to both guys and go, swing them for the fences. Because that's Mick. He wants to see these things go crazy.
If he gives Strowman a ball bat, regardless of whether it's got barbed wire around it, Reigns is done.
He gives Strowman almost anything. We're all in trouble.
He could give him a wiffle bat, and he would. And then Reigns gets the ball bat with the barbed wire, and he's still going to go down.
The only thing that would make this great, it'd be comical, so I know it would never happen, is just seeing Mick going, whoa, we are not starting this match yet until you guys get weapons. Hold on.
This is now a hardcore match.
Going underneath the ring, grabbing out like 2 pool noodles, giving them to him, be like, all right, go at it. We're going to have therapy inside the cell.
Oh, my God.
Therapy in the cell.
Or those sock and boppers. More fun with a pillow fight.
A big old.
Pink.
Might as well just put them in inflatable sumo suits.
Wow. That would actually be kind of funny.
That would be great.
Just to see him see the ball doing this. We're going to have one of those eventually. We've got the space outside. I want to pull something like that off.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. That are those things that are pretty much like big old inflatable ball that you just put your whole self in and you just run and charge on each other.
There's a place locally in the mall that has those kind of things.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah.
Well, I know what I'm doing for my vlog one day. Who's up for it?
I'm down. That sounds like fun.
All right, but anyway, no, seriously though. I mean, it is a real interesting thing because Nick is a wild card. I mean, he's as much of a wild card as like whenever Shawn Michaels is a special guest referee.
It could swing both ways, honestly.
Because, like
or
I said,
he could just be like,
yeah, I mean, but the thing is,
I can see Mick trying to call it down the middle until somebody puts their hands on it.
yeah,
oh,
that's true.
even accidentally.
And you got a point there. You got a point there because who would be first to put their hands on is more likely going to be the hot-headed, really irritable Roman Reigns, because he's not going to agree with something that's been called. He's going to get in Mick's face, and then Mick's going to be like, "I'm warning you right now. Don't do it.
Don't do this." Yeah, right.
Now the hilarious part will be if Roman's the one who gets Sacco'd. I would be laughing so much about that.
Because you know,
Sacco's getting involved somehow.
Yeah,
Sacco is getting involved. Let's be honest here.
If Sacco doesn't get involved, I will be extremely disappointed.
That would.
And I will have zero faith left in WWE if Sacco does not get involved.
I agree with you. Sacco has to happen. Anyway, also, we had Ronda Rousey and Natalya go up against Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. First of all, we got to see the heart attack. I'm very happy about that.
Or some semblance of a heart attack.
Yeah. But the big thing is Ronda got really hurt in the ribs, and then even after she won, Alexa gave a great straight kick right into the ribs.
Yep.
And then, of course, she left quickly, so she didn't get attacked. Makes sense. And Ronda made the whole statement of injured or not, I'm going to still defend my title because no matter how injured I am, I'm still the best. Really, though, have you now exposed your kryptonite? Because now you've shown that you are vulnerable. You are that, and you have someone that's already injured 6 days away.
She's revealed that she's injured.
Yeah.
That alone was the biggest mistake she just made.
Yeah.
She should have continued to stand up strong regardless of how much pain she's in and not said a damn thing. When she's quiet.
Well, where's the fun in that? we gotta have some kind of injury to milk.
That's true.
Well,
and target.
I mean, the whole thing you got is that, okay, this is all happening, and so she now has revealed that she's hurt 6 days away from the thing. It's going to be one of those things that either it's going to be all about hitting the ribs, and then somehow Ronda does get a surprise win, or are we going to see Ronda just get too much to handle for the first time ever? So it's a lot of interesting things. But my big thing is, how long is Natty going to be supportive?
How long is she going to be, especially if she starts seeing that, getting the title twinkle in her eyes?
Yeah. I mean, right now, I keep saying that, her and Ronda and Natty are best buds, they're training partners, this and that. And Ronda was there for Natty when Natty needed her, blah, blah. Yeah. But let's face it, Natty is at her best when she is the ruthless queen of black hearts. Back when her and Beth Phoenix were a team. She knows how to play heel the best. Not this crazy cat lady stuff.
Yeah.
But this lady who, I am a veteran, I am the sole female survivor of the Heart Dungeon, and I know how to hurt people.
It's essentially, when it comes to it, she fits better in that particular persona.
Yeah.
Rather than playing the nice person.
She's
the nice, smart person, not the nice, crazy person.
Yeah.
With the whole cat lady, whatever.
Yeah. She's very much, when it comes to personality in the ring, she's very much like her father and her Uncle Owen, where when she plays the heel, she plays it like a harp.
Like a heart.
Yeah, that too, yeah. But I mean, it's so beautifully done that you just love it. You love to hate her, but you also just love to go, this is how a heel should be. Mm-hmm. Whereas when she's a face, it's like, okay, yeah, you kind of got a little bit of your Uncle Brett in you there and everything else, and a little bit of how your dad was when he was a face. But it just doesn't fit right. It doesn't fit like the perfect shoe. Instead, it's like being one of the stepsisters of Cinderella, you're trying to squeeze your foot inside the shoe, and it just doesn't fit right.
Or cutting your toes off.
Oh, yeah, that
Like in the original.
Yeah, the original story.
Wow.
Yeah, the original story was pretty dark. But anyway.
Yeah. A lot of those Disney tales were
really
dark in the original stories.
Yeah, with the Brothers Grimm and all that stuff, yeah.
Well, not even just them. The other ones too are pretty dark, especially where their origins are from. Mm-hmm. And of course, then again, we get to the more humorous side of things. Kluge showed me a picture of from Ariel, with Eric delivering a box skirt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody took a coloring page from like a Little Mermaid coloring book and adapted the picture of Prince Eric
to look like one of the guys from Lonely Island.
Oh, nice.
From a certain SNL skit involving boxes.
Yeah, I remember.
And male genitalia.
Yeah.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So also with that, we got the SmackDown Live stuff. Charlotte was doing a really good time, and she was saying hi to the fans after she won, only to get lynched from the crowd because the crowd included Becky Lynch. This just shows how cunning and ruthless Becky is to knock down her former best friend a couple pegs and take what she truly believes is hers.
And essentially, it's almost this mirror image of what we're seeing now. I mean, to lead back toward Raw again with Natalya and Ronda.
Yeah.
And the way that Natalya and Ronda are is pretty much almost a mirror image of what the way Charlotte and Becky were.
Yeah.
And if we were to even lay this out on a timeline and then almost line them up again,
you might be able to match them out. Yeah.
You'll be able to see the way we see Becky right now is what we're going to see of with Natalya eventually.
And Becky did it great because not only did she have a sweatshirt on, but she had a wig on so you couldn't see her red hair. And she played it out perfectly to make sure that nobody could tell it was her until she decided to reveal.
Yeah.
The great thing also about this is just we're starting to see what I truly believe is the straight fire of Becky, because Becky now has a focus.
Yeah.
The focus is not just the goal, not just the gold, but she's got the focus away from the pleasing the fans and doing what Becky wants for Becky. And if that means putting Charlotte down, she's going to put Charlotte down.
Right.
We finally have what Becky should have always been. The only bad part about this is now there's a lot of rumor mills going on that what we're going to get at Hell in a Cell is a quote-unquote double turn where the two of them turn on everybody and form a female version of Generation X. I really hope this doesn't happen, because I don't think it would work as well as the rumors are saying.
As much as, that's just the wrong.
DX was good the first time around. I mean, it was okay when they redid it, when they revisited it back in just the last few years.
Yeah.
It was a more tame version of DX.
It was more so fan service than anything.
Yeah.
Where they rehashed it. But I mean, as
It's
much
like when
as
they were trying to rebuild the NWO all those times.
that's exactly where I was going.
Whenever the first NWO had formed, and then it started to just get too big.
Yeah. When NWO first formed, it was great. When it did the Wolfpack, it was not too bad either. I love it. But then it just got too big. And then even after Vince bought out WCW, they tried to rebuild NWO again. It was like, it's already been done.
It just doesn't.
It doesn't work anymore.
It doesn't have the same
oof.
Yeah. It just doesn't have that same push anymore.
And that's why I don't feel that these two would make a good female DX, if you will.
If they were to do a good female DX, who do you feel could be a membership of that?
I don't know, because I mean, the closest thing they have to it right now originally would have been something to do with Ruby Riott, but the Riott Squad really just doesn't do it.
No.
So you need people like that. You need people who are going to be able to be willing to be out there, unique,
I see the wheels
and going. The only person I absolutely think would be hilarious, but would not be a good fit right away, would be Bayley, because Bayley would be almost your X-Pac of the DX, where she kind of fits, but
Bayley would be your Shawn in the rehash of it.
Fair enough. Okay. The more tame Shawn, yeah. But I mean, for the original crew, though, she'd be more the X-Pac of. If she was original crew, she'd be more the X-Pac of. Okay, she kind of fits, but she kind of doesn't. So she's going to branch off and do her own thing eventually. Just hopefully not as bad of a tag partner as Test was.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, you would probably see it start with Bayley and Sasha.
I can see that.
And then it expand from there.
So Sasha would be the Triple H to Bayley's Shawn, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too bad just does that tamer. I mean, it needs to be. Well, Triple H keeps trying to push.
Well, I mean, that's if this happens on Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's going to happen on Raw.
Yeah. So.
Well, like I said,
I don't know who else they've
trying
had
to talk
into
about
the
this resurgence of the era. Like he talks about like reviving essentially that older style.
Now,
I think it would be a good thing.
I
You're
just
gonna lose your PG rating.
Well, yeah, you lose your PGA rating first off. It's secondly, it's just I think it'd be a good idea if it wasn't the fact that they're talking Sasha. No, so that's not Sasha. Right? Charlotte and Becky. Charlotte and Becky, I don't think they do. They were part of the original Four Horsewomen. They don't.
So were Bayley and Sasha.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, they forced that a lot with Charlotte because Charlotte's the son of Rick.
Well, yeah, the son of Rick.
Son of Rick.
You mean daughter of Rick?
Yeah, that's right. Son of a Rick. Daughter of Rick. Whatever.
Offspring of Rick.
Now I got Offspring stuck in my head.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Not bad. I'm not going to complain. I like Offspring.
Yeah.
But
gotta keep them separated.
That's right. But I mean, no. So seriously though, yeah. So I don't think it'll work for Charlotte. But Sasha and Bayley, I can see that. And then you'd have to have certain people who could go. The bad part is, this is no insult to the guy because I've met him twice now. But you need somebody who's overall kind of quiet, like Billy Gunn was, except for those few small lines. And the only person I could see doing that would be Ember Moon.
Ooh.
But then you need to have somebody who's then you need to have somebody who's as strong on the mic as Jesse James, Road Dogg.
Oh, I'm not even gonna reveal what it.
No. Who's the mouth? Who's the mouth for Road Dogg? Who's the female Road Dogg?
No.
I'm curious.
I had a little throw up come up whenever I thought of it, so no.
If you say Carmella, you're fired. That's exactly where you're going. That's great.
You just made me throw up in my mouth, though, like this now. And I only say it because of the fact that she does utilize the
run her mouth. You are right. I cannot fault you on that. You're not fired.
Am I not fired?
No, you're not fired. I can't fault you on that.
Get the hell out of
you never said it. He asked, and then you just silently confirmed.
That's right.
So you never said it, so that's why
that's That's honestly the only one I can think of.
Actually, you have a point, though. You have a very good point.
Because the moment you said running your mouth on the mic, I'm like,
yeah, and that's what Carmella does best.
Exactly.
And then what? We would have to have a male counterpart to what China was.
That or your other option.
This is not Ellsworth.
Your other
I would do a dispraise to shame to that woman who was China.
Well, so. We could talk about a male counterpart today.
Your other option, though, on Raw could be Alexa.
Ooh. Bliss is good on the mic. That's one thing I will give her props on. She is good on the mic.
Not as good as Carmella when it comes to running her mouth.
Yeah, but at least Alexa doesn't have an annoying laugh.
Well, Alexa does that BS with just being bullied and all this crap. I'm like, okay, you're small, we get it. Drop it already, okay?
Yeah. But I mean, you never know. I mean, there's a lot of good possibilities on this. I will give props are due. But speaking of having a male counterpart to China, we also had the whole.
That'd be Ellsworth.
No.
We already said no.
I was saying we already had this past Tuesday the whole thing with Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan having an issue with Miz and Maurice because
when don't they have an issue?
Well, Brie and Maurice were supposed to have a match, and Brie looked like she was about to win after dragging Maurice back in, except for then Miz grabbed a hold of Brie and pulled her, like literally pulled her out onto the floor from the ring to the ground, which then caused this huge brawl. So there's your male China. Apparently, Miz has no problem touching women.
Daniel Bryan or Miz?
Miz. Because Miz has no problem grabbing women and throwing them outside the ring and everything else, apparently. But here comes my next statement.
I don't know.
Because, and I know we're going to get flack for this, and I will take the heat personally, not Sleeper Hold, not 217 Radio.
It's all on him.
I am a man.
Priest's comments are his own and not a reflection on
right.
217 Radio and the Sleeper Hold.
I am not a feminist. I am not a whatever it is.
You're not a sexist.
Yeah, I'm not a sexist of any type. Already like that. But I'm a person I call peopleism because I feel like everything should be equal.
Right.
We let it happen all this time on WWE where the woman can slap, punch, hit whatever the guy, and it's okay. But then when they did this whole thing with Miz grabbing Brie, all hell broke loose. I can't believe he put his hands on her. Blah blah blah. what's good for the goose is good for the gander in my world. Because honestly, yes, I know it goes against all the chivalry things, all the things that we were taught and raised, how a man should never hit a woman, a man should never touch a woman. But if you're going to keep whining and complaining, I don't say whining.
Yeah,
because that's that's not the right word. Whining is what people do who are misogynistic or whatever the other thing is. Because I have to deal with a lot of
Do we really want to dive down this rabbit hole particularly?
I will. I don't care. It's going to get us some reviews. If you're going to sit here and talk about how you need everything to be equal, and I am all about equality. Yeah. And that's why I'm so happy about evolution coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like more excited than anybody else I can think of because this is the big golden opportunity. But if you're going to be that way, you're going to get all mad because of what Ms. did, you're basically taking steps away from what evolution's all about.
Right. I agree.
That's what I'm trying to drive home.
I agree.
I'm not trying to say, okay, guys, go hit your woman. No, not at all. But I'm just saying we are at a pivotal point here in wrestling history and in human history with all this equality.
Right.
That the second we spaz out over one situation but not the other, we take steps backwards.
Well, it's doing like this waving back and forth. It's like the moment that it gets to the point of the peak of that arch of everybody's equal, it's going to start diving back down toward the...
And that's my thing, is we need to find a way to get to that peak and maintain. But the problem is, like I said, people spaz out, right, and then it makes everything go backwards. Because if they're going to spaz out about what Miz did, which I perfectly am okay with, you need to spaz out about when Brie decked the Miz.
But they saw it as a power movement whenever a woman was able to stand up to a man like that.
And that could be very well the case.
The moment that the man then returns that, I mean, it's like, if you can, this is my statement on this, if you can dish it, you should be able to take it.
Well, that's how I am about everything in life. That's even my jokes.
Yeah, well,
people know I joke.
This is also a TV show we're talking about.
Yeah.
This isn't, I mean, to break the kayfabe of it all, a good...
Because we never do that here.
Because we never do that. That's right, Jason.
Keith.
Ben.
Who? What? Where?
Robbie.
Oh, damn it.
He's not fighting back, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We got to realize that we understand that wrestling is in some portion
scripted. Yeah.
Some portion?
Some portion, yeah. Not all of it, some of it. I mean, I'm saying maybe a good 70% of it's probably scripted out.
I can side with
there
that
are some things that people, and I'm just throwing a number out there too. That's not really. And there's some things that obviously happen that are on the fly, that are improv, that are, or at least they used to be more improv than they are nowadays.
Yeah.
But there's things that happen that you have to act on the fly. Like if somebody throws somebody else onto a table and the table doesn't break, they have to.
Oh, like what happened to the Shield recently?
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
But the reason why I go to this all thing, because I see where we're going too, it's just they gotta have that balance.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like I said, I am all for the fact that, if they're gonna have a woman be able to beat up a man like that, they've got to be willing to take that risk and do the other thing. Even though it's against social norms currently, if we are truly trying to go for equality, you've got to be able to explore all aspects of it. And be like, okay, if that's not okay, this can't be okay.
We need to get a female in here.
Oh, I would love it. I would love to have a female co-host.
In general, I mean, I the only one I could think of off the top of my head is we got Harley in here at some point in time.
Oh, yeah. Let's do that. Let's make that happen.
We'll see if we can make that happen.
Harley is badass.
I mean, hell, or if we were able to talk to Shauna the next time.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good too.
Well, you'll have an opportunity this week.
There you go.
And there's a perfect lead in to what's happening.
Yeah, because
next.
both Harley and Shauna will be in attendance of this weekend's BWA event.
Well, before we get to that, I do want to make sure I make this clear, because I know I want to make sure that I don't mislead anybody on what I'm saying here. I'm not trying to condone one gender hitting the other.
Right.
At all, in any shape or form. And that's what I'm trying to say is, our social norms say that it's not okay for a man to hit a woman, but it's okay for a woman to hit a man. A lot of places feel like that's okay. It's never okay no matter how you slice it.
No.
But I'm just saying that if we are
self-defense
is different.
Yeah.
That's a very big difference. But my thing I'm trying to get at is, if we're going to spaz out about one, we need to spaz out about the other. Or we need to be able to go, okay, yeah, that's maybe taboo, but we're willing to explore that taboo. Because that's what happened in the Attitude Era, if you remember, with Jeff Jarrett in China. Mm-hmm. And yeah, even though it caused a lot of controversy, it also caused a lot of awareness that helped push that evolution that we have now. And like I said, we're so far in there. We keep pushing for the women's evolution pay-per-view and everything else the women are evolving with. But then when we do stuff like this, because I like to play devil's advocate, I'm going to point out and go, hey, wait a minute here. Doing what you're doing here and how you're reacting and how you're making things work is not helping the women. It's pushing it further back. Because then you're going to have those extremists go, well, what about the equality? And that's why I try to talk to the fans about this. I'm just being devil's advocate.
There are a lot of movements right now that are pushing in too far in one direction, I think.
Oh yeah, the problem is the extremists are always allowed us. Yeah. No matter which side of the spectrum we're looking at.
Right. And it's just all why can't we all just walk the middle of the line?
I walk the line.
Essentially, why can't we all just
follow the line and follow suit? Yeah.
Not so much following suit. I mean, I get, wavering away from it a little bit, but why can't we all just get back to that point of, okay, I'm going to respect you, you respect me. I'm obviously not going to hit you unless you come at me, and you're not going to touch me unless I go after you. It's kind of a
And the reason why, like I said, the reason why I bring this up is because I'm devil's advocate. I always play devil's advocate because I like to make people think.
Right.
That's one thing that's always been about me, been about my gimmick, been about everything. So that's what I do. And this would be a great time, like you said, to get Shauna Reed or Harley here and throw this whole thing out there because they may get in my face and tell me I'm a dumb freaking idiot. The more power to them.
Exactly.
Well, Harley probably would.
Yeah,
Harley might be.
I don't know Shauna that well yet.
But you know what? That's fine because in the end, I look at it and say, hey, look, I'm just being devil's advocate. You know I have full support for you and everything else because you and I have talked on a personal level plenty of times. But I have to make people think, and that's all I'm doing here. Do not do to me what they did to Geraldo and break my nose in the middle of the screen.
I mean, we've got.
Well, if we had any extra chairs, I'd pick one up now.
And also, if you think about it too, like if we were able to get Shauna here, we would at least get one constant viewer there. JH would be surely.
Oh yeah, Henrik would be all over that.
I wasn't trying to drop his name. I was not.
Oh, that's no secret.
I figured you'd know who I was talking about, though.
You know, the best part about this, I just thought about this, is the fact that I can almost guarantee within a week, I'll probably get a personal message from our boss man, Pickett, and be like, dude, you really went there, didn't you? You really decided to go there.
Before the night's over.
Yeah, you'll probably get that tonight.
It's like, I can't
probably
believe
even before the show's over.
I can't believe you did that. You didn't delete that episode. Nope. I like to.
We are not going to delete.
No delete.
The delete button is missing.
But I mean, that's just.
So is the Elias.
The mute button.
Yeah.
The Elias
enhancement button, as I call it.
I mean, so who knows? We'll see what happens there. I'm not too worried about it. I like to play devil's advocate to make sure everybody thinks. That's my whole thing here. If it worked for you guys and you want to give feedback, go for it. I encourage it.
Yeah.
Just realize
it's a conversation here. It ain't just us BSing in a room somewhere.
Yeah. Just realize
we want to hear from y'all too.
Even though we say these things, we may not be 100% behind what we say, except for we're just trying to make you think. Like I said, I'm all about making sure women don't get hit. But I'm also all about men should not be beat up and abused either. Yeah. In the wrestling world, a story, a tale, that's what I'm talking about. Yes. In this story, in this world, this fantasy world, if you will, if you're going to do this, you should be able to allow this and not overreact. Because once you do that, it damages what you build.
You probably should have prefaced that prior to the whole thing.
Well, and probably, but my brain doesn't work that way. It's the ADHD. I just spew out what comes up, and then I may try to explain to people. Hopefully, I catch myself before saying, just so you understand.
Right.
I'm just trying to play fair here.
I know. I'm just giving crap.
If all else fails, I'll edit this video later on. I'll put a little disclaimer. This is just to play devil's advocate. Do not get ticked off.
Put a little button in there to skip to this if you wish to overstep this.
Yeah, overstep the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But speaking of
this time index to miss.
Right.
This whole
But
part.
speaking of Shauna Reed and of Harley, we have PWA coming up this Saturday, which is going to be awesome.
And
One shall fall.
We're going to be there.
Yes,
Yes.
PWA returns to Springfield with the 8th Street Gym.
And I was really feel good.
But yeah, we've got a pretty good card set for that show. I know a couple of the matches. Number one contender for the PWA Regional Heavyweight Championship, Victor Analog, will be taking on the first man who ever held the regional title before it was integrated with the world title. Hannah.
Wow.
So that there will be a good match. You're going to have Harley in action. Shauna's going to be in action. We're also going to have a couple new ladies there at this show, Sierra and Tootie Ramsey. Let's say the Hooligans are making their PWA debut at this show. Other than that, the main event is going to be Casey Jackson and Johnny Kincaid.
Nice.
So, I mean, we've got a lot of action set up, and you never know what's going to happen or who's going to show up. Or
Yeah, it's definitely one thing that I've learned about PWA is you never know what you're going to get. I mean, you may have a card, of course, it's subject to change. But one thing you're always guaranteed is you're going to leave the show going, man, this was a good show. I'm glad I came. You definitely want to go there. You want to have fun. Like we said, we're all three going to be there in one way or the other. I'm definitely going to be there in gimmick because that's my plan.
And my gimmick is me, so.
Yeah.
well, and my gimmick is PWA AV supervisor.
And the reason I say I'm going to be there in gimmick is because I have a special plan for Saturday, as long as it's still up to going, involving.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now.
Okay, good. I didn't want to say anything in case that viewer ends up checking things out.
Actually, I thought that was supposed to be for Jacksonville.
It could be either or. I was just thinking this would be easier since it's Springfield.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later. But anyway, either way, I'll be there in gimmick, and more likely also you'll see me with a camera running around because I'll be working on my vlog because I want to promote PWA.
Oh, you want to give Guy Smith some competition now, right?
No, I actually want to put him on there and say, you're the one who inspired me to do this, so say hi to the camera.
Well, he's not going to be in attendance this week.
See how he is? Jeez.
Yeah, the tag
Thanks,
champs.
Guy.
The tag champs will be absent at this show, but I think they're scheduled to come back at the next week's show at
Okay.
Jacksonville. So,
Well, then I will just have to...
Attitude Inc. has more things going on right now than wrestling, so.
Yeah, whatever. They just don't want to be around us. I see how it is. They hate us.
So is that the extent of the PWA as a one shall fall?
Yeah, one shall fall. I mean, there's a couple of other matches I haven't announced.
What was his name, the ref that's going to be there for the clinic?
Oh, yeah, the referee clinic with Justin King, who was former WWE and Impact referee. That one starts at like 3 o'clock, and I think it's like a $30.
Yeah, he said
$30 attendance fee.
That promo he dropped on the page was like spot on, with the exception he didn't know the price of the tickets.
Right. Oh, I don't think it was said at the time that he made the video. That could be why it was.
Yeah, but definitely, guys, you want to be there.
Yeah.
Let's say check out the PWA Facebook page if you want to check out that video.
And we'll talk
we'll
about
post
it
a link
definitely
to it,
more
too.
as we go. We'll make more posts about it. We'll talk more about it. Also, we will probably do some recordings outside of much my vlog. We'll do some recordings during the show, and then we'll upload them to our YouTube page.
This page, obviously.
Yep.
And we'll link them over on our...
Exactly. We'll link them over to Facebook. We'll upload them to YouTube after we get back from that night. We got all the video editing done. And then, we're going to have a good time. We hope to have you guys there. And just don't do anything too crazy, though, when you're there. Because you never know who's going to react to you. No, I mean, come on. We got crazy people there. We got clowns. We've got some guy who is trying to be a dictator. You're not really trying to be a dictator.
I'm just saying, I'm the crazy.
Well, you're one of the crazy ones, yeah. I was talking more like, you got Magnus here, who
Oh yeah.
You know, he's got his minions, so if he doesn't like you, he'll go after you with his minions.
Magnus might be at this show.
That's what I'm saying. He'll get his minions to stick after you if he doesn't like you, or if you are crazy enough that he likes you, he may try to recruit you. You never know what you're going to get at PWA.
Yeah.
I still got my recruitment form, and I'm waiting on that to get that.
Yeah, they said
I think it's carrier turkey is what it's supposed to be coming by.
Yeah, you never know these days.
Yeah,
turkey.
Yep. Haven't got it back yet though.
All right, well, guys, that's about it for our show. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for putting up with our really deep rabbit hole there.
Oh, that you're calling that deep?
Well, it was deep because it was deep and dark.
Oh,
it was kind of on the twisted side.
I was gonna say, are you trying to compete with the past rabbit holes that we've
No,
down?
we've had some really deep rabbit holes where I thought we were in China by the time we were done. But
we were in China and back in the atmosphere on the other side of the freaking planet. That's kind of what it's.
We went through, saw China, said we made a wrong turn, went back, went around, ended up in Bangkok. That just happens. But
Okay.
that's about it for our show. Thank you for tuning in. We will be here next week and having more information, as well as talking about not only what WWE has, but definitely talking about One Shall Fall.
And then
Rob's here.
we'll also be talking about the following event.
Exactly.
In Jacksonville.
Rob's here. He can fill in on other stuff too, which, you know.
This is a very busy month for PWA.
Yeah, you guys have a lot coming in.
Which means
4 shows in 1 month within 3 weeks span.
That's right. Craziness.
Which means we have a lot to
Yeah.
cover. So.
All right, guys. Take it easy. We will see you next time. This is The Priest with Zombie and Kluge. Sign off. Take care.